Yo guys, Spiderbot here. This is our Easter egg compilation or achievement guide for high maintenance Black Ops 2 Die Rise Zombies, part of the Revolution DLC. This is the guide only for Richtofen side. You can complete this achievement two ways. We haven't completed the Maxis yet. This is Richtofen. So what you're going to need to do, the first step of this, other than the obvious, make sure the power's on, because you won't be able to access the elevators if the power isn't on. Now, although you can go down two different paths, keep in mind the first three steps of the Easter egg is identical both for Richtofen and for Maxis. There are a series of 4 Chinese symbols, gold Chinese symbols, that are located on top of 4 elevators in Die Rise. 2 in the spawn building and 2 in the radio tower building. The first one I'm going to show you is the one that I jump on, and it happens to be where Quick Revive is here, just outside the 2 double doors from the main starting area. Alright, the second one is located down the escalator stairs coming out of spawn, and take a right. It happens to be where our Who's Who perk machine is located. Remember, the perk machines can change positions. Alright, we're going to go over to the tower building. The third symbol is located on this elevator where you see the 2 elevators sort of side by side. It's the one on the left where double tap happens to be, and Axel's going to jump on that one. The fourth and final symbol is located on top of the elevator that's just down the ramp on top of the tower building, and Mankiller is going to jump on that one. Now, it has to be timed. You all have to be on those symbols at the same time. This definitely does take a little bit of coordination and communication. You can use the keys that you find down at the bottom of the freight elevator to try and time it better so that you can bring the elevators, ideally, bring them all to the top level of your respective buildings or elevator shafts at the same time, and then I'll jump on them. Otherwise, you just have to be careful, because each elevator does go up into a position where you can get crushed. Once you do that, the symbols will light up, and you get a Richtofen quote.
Yes! The energy fields are growing, but further manipulation is needed before they achieve control.
Alright, step 2 is activating the additional Chinese symbols that are found on the floors of the buildings. Again, there are 2 in the main spawn building and 2 in the radio tower building. The first 4 were on the elevators. These 4 are on the floors. What you need to do, you can't jump on them all at the same time. They have to be activated in a certain order, and the order changes, so it's a bit of trial and error. So what you need to do is coordinate 4 players to hit them one at a time, and I'll show you the locations. First symbol location is just outside of the double doors in the spawn area, and it's just on the floor in front of the elevator that I was activating as Stuhlinger. The second location is, I believe it's 3 levels down, and is in, I guess call it the food court area, and it's in the middle of the floor. Hyper's going to be activating that one. The third symbol location is found on the radio tower building, and it's just down from the tower. If you jump down, go up the ramp, you're at the tower, and then jump down to the right-hand side. It's on the ground right there. And then the fourth symbol is on the very lower, well, I guess not the lowest level, but the second lowest level in the radio tower building. It's on the balcony with the blue tarp, and Mankiller is going to be activating that one. Now again, what you have to do is activate them in order, so just have one player try to go onto their symbol. If it lights up, that means that's the first symbol. If it doesn't, then it's not. You keep trying players until you get the first one. Then it's trial and error to get the second one. If you fail, they'll go out. The lights go out. Like when you go on the first one and activate it, it lights up. You go on the second one, it's not the correct one, it won't light up, and it'll turn the first one off. And then that's the same for the third one. If you get the first 2 right and then the third one wrong, they'll all turn off. You have to start over again. You only have so many chances. If you make the incorrect choices too many times, the whole thing will reset and you have to start over. So the one that activated first will no longer activate first. You got to find which one activates first, and then start the whole process over again. But it gives you enough tries so that if you're using trial and error and by process of elimination, correctly, and you don't make the same mistake more than once, then you should have enough attempts to get it right, even if it takes you the longest to do so. And once you do it in the correct order, this is what the quote that you get from Richtofen. Okay, for step 3, we're sniping the black orbs from the dragons, and we do get indication earlier on if you buy the SVU off the wall or you get a sniper from the box, and there may be other weapons you get indication from, but I've only heard it from the snipers. You know, Richtofen and or Maxis tell you, hold on to that weapon, guard it with your life. So what we're doing here is sniping the black orbs from the dragons' mouths. And what happens is, as you snipe each one, and you can see the progression on the dragon as well. We're progressing with Richtofen, so you're going to see the blue lights light up, or the blue fireworks come up for the dragon. If you're progressing on Maxis, you'll see them come up orange on the far dragon. And this is the final step that is the same for both Maxis and Richtofen. So we snipe them, and then we find that the balls have actually transferred from the dragon's mouths to under the lion's paws. Now let's hear what Richtofen has to say after we complete this step.
Perhaps a rapid liquefaction is suffice, yeah?
For step 4, we got to get the balls wet. What we're going to do here, and what I mean by balls are the black orbs, you need the sliquifier. I'm not going to post a guide for the sliquifier here to build it at the workbench in the radio tower building. If you want that, check the link in the description. That'll add for you guys. So we're going to bring the sliquifier up, and we've concentrated. It was easier when they didn't have the patch in for the sliquifier. All 4 of us could have got the gun and used it to wet the balls, but as it is, it's patched. Only one person can have it now. So we started on the right-hand side, and you have to aim directly at the ball and just keep firing at it with the sliquifier, and eventually it'll start spinning. There were a couple of times that we tried it. It took more than the full ammo we had in the sliquifier to activate them both. We had to wait for a max ammo and eventually get it. The time we did it here, we were able to get it using, you know, not depleting the ammo entirely from the sliquifier. And what happens as each one activates, and you just want to maybe have a partner watch, because you may not notice while you're firing at it, watch, and when the ball starts spinning, that means you've completed that one, and you go to the next one. And once you've completed both, here's what Richtofen says.
Maxis will no longer be able to get his filthy hands on those balls. Those so wet. Now, the real fun can begin.
Step 5, now we need to trample steam zombies. So each player needs the trample steam. Again, I believe I posted a guide for that. I'll put a link in the description, but I'm not going to show a guide to build them here. What you need to do is place a trample steam on each zombie symbol. Now there's one on just outside the main spawn area, outside the double doors, in front of the elevator again, just close by to the other Chinese symbol. We're going to place a trample steam on there. The second location that we place, there are actually 2 locations side by side at this the decline going down to the lower level on top of the radio tower building. The first one we're going to place is on the left, and remember, you have to aim them towards, so that they're going to fling the zombies towards the tower. Alright, that's where we want the zombies to go. That's the blood sacrifice that Richtofen was talking about. So we're going to place a second one here. The third one is going to go on the other side of that decline, and again, facing so that it flings the zombies into the tower. The fourth and final symbol trample steam location is over here. This one is actually the most difficult symbol to see, so you may not have noticed it previously. Then what you basically need to do is trample steam a bunch of zombies, fling them all into the tower. So we have players, in order to, especially in the spawn building, we need zombies to spawn in there. Now, we can't confirm if you only had zombies getting flung by one trample steam, if that would work. In order for us to do this, we ensured that we had another player over on the main spawn area so that zombies would spawn in there and they would get trample steamed into the tower from that one. So if you want to make sure you do it right, I mean, you can try just doing it with a couple of the trample steams and not worrying about the others and having all the zombies come onto those. But just for our purposes, we made sure that we did, in fact, use all 4, since it was a requirement that you had all 4 in order to get to the next step. Once you've trample steamed or flinged enough zombie into the tower, you've completed the next step, and we only have 1 step left. This is what Richtofen has to say about it. All right, step 6, you have to have Galvanuckles, and you only need 1 player to do this. We had some trial and error on this, but eventually figured out exactly the method of activating each of the posts on the tower. So there are 4 posts that are now lit up, and you have to use your Galvanuckles and melee them in a specific order, 1 at a time. Now, the order that you melee them changes every single game you play. It's not going to be the same from game to game. It's not necessarily going to be 1 post and then move to the next, and then move to the next, and move to the next, and you've got all 4 of them. The way the order is determined is by using the Mahjong tiles that are located throughout the map. The Mahjong tiles tell you not only the directional indication of where you need to hit, but they also tell you in what order. Now, I'm not going to go through an entire tutorial for the Mahjong tiles. I will link you to a video that we posted previously regarding the Mahjong tiles in the description. We're also going to be updating that one, and once we have updated a new version of the Mahjong tile tutorial, we'll post the new link in the description and probably an annotation. But just keep in mind, there are a total of 7 Mahjong tiles that we've found. There are 7 in each game. We've never been able to find an 8, but you really only need 6. All right, and the new tutorial, I mean, the old one we show 6 locations. There are some other locations, and again, they can move from location to location, but there should always be 7 of these tiles. What they'll tell you, there will be, and I'll post a link again here to the Mahjong tile wiki, but you may find a combination of 4 colored directional tiles as well as 4 colored numbered tiles. And what it'll tell you, if you find, again, red north wind at the tower, then you may, what we found in this game that we actually completed the Easter egg on, we found a red 2 bamboo. So we knew that we had to melee the north post of the tower second. We also found blue tiles for 3 bamboo and west, so we knew that the west post had to be hit after the other 2, the north wind, and then what ended up being the first post was the green one. We only ever found a green direction tile, which indicated south, and then we found black 4 and east. So we knew that we had to hit the south post first, then the north, then the west, then the east, and this is what we're doing here, basically. And this is what happens. We unlock the achievements, and we complete Richtofen's side of the Easter egg.
Insta-kill!
Now, a couple of things with regards to completing the Easter egg. Each player is given all 6 perks, and note that they're all 6 perks. We don't get PhD Flopper. PhD Flopper, I think it was a troll placed in the freight elevator shaft on another floor that you can't get to. And we didn't stick around. We didn't really think about it. We were just really tired. Whether if you're downed and you respawn the next round, do you keep those 6 perks? My guess is you do. We never actually verified that. We just ended up quitting the game, and that was it. So that's your guide, guys. Like I said, the first 3 steps are the same for Richtofen as they are for Maxis, but the remaining 3 steps for Richtofen were specific to him, and you can't complete Maxis' side once you've progressed this far, unless it's another game. You don't retain progress of the Easter egg. The Navcar table is completely separate, the Easter egg, but once you complete it, it's the same as Transit. If you go into another game, Richtofen side will be completed, but then you can complete Maxis' side as well. And I believe what will happen is that once you complete Maxis' side, Richtofen side will reset, similar to Transit, and you can go back and forth like we have done many, many times. So that's it, guys. Hopefully the guide helps, makes sense. Please leave a comment about it. And man, it's fantastic completing this with you guys, and I appreciate all the feedback that you guys have given. And again, this is a huge community effort. I'm not taking credit for everything in this video, but this is a compilation video of what we did to complete the Easter egg and Richtofen side. So that's it. We'll catch you next time. I'm Spider, and I'm out.